Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, and this is Larry Ray, not John Gordon, who may become the new voice of our introduction. He's going to really work on this, and when he comes back next month, I expect some really spectacular introductions by John Gordon.
I'm going to work on it, Larry.
He has a month to do it, and we might even let him try the theme song if he can come up with that. But, of course, he's shaking his head. Well, you probably heard that. Yeah. But anyway, John is with us, and also, of course, Ron Wong is here on the second Saturday of the month on this day before Mother's Day. And, hey, one of my favorite events is going on right now. It's taken me, and I still hadn't gotten used to it. It's like the change of names that the commissioners have for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. It's always been another name, and now it's the Fish and Wildlife Commission, I think. I get it mixed up. But Wilderness Wildlife Week still has the same name. It's just been changed to a different time of the year from where I used to go in the winter. And now it is in the spring. It closes out today's big event over there. This is, I'm not really for sure, 28th year, I think, but I know the man that's on with us right now is Butch Helton. Butch is a special events manager for the Pigeon Forge Department of Tourism, a lifelong resident of Sevier County, and a Pigeon Forge native, which means if he's probably shook hands with Dolly Parton a few times, more than likely. Have you, Butch?
Well, I actually have, and a couple of times, and I actually got to have my picture taken with her.
With Dolly?
Too, so
wow.
Yeah,
well, okay.
So
how much does that cost?
That's a pretty good day, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. But, all right, Butch, tell us about Wilderness Wildlife Week. And I know it ends today, and it'd be hard for some of our folks from West Tennessee. But if you live in Jackson this morning, you can take off right after this show at 8 o'clock and get on over there. But tell us about Wilderness Wildlife. You've been a part of it. I know the opening night, folks, is the most, it's the most moving experience I ever have when I come to Wilderness Wildlife. When Ken Jenkins and I can't remember.
Phelps.
Yes,
Judy
Phelps get over there, and they do that musical program.
Heaven and Nature Sing.
If you don't get goosebumps from that, your bumps are out of goosed. I mean, it's just
there's something wrong.
It's something wrong. But so tell us a little bit about 3 years ago. Y'all switched to the spring. Tell us a little bit about how that's been, and also about the event itself.
Absolutely, be glad to, Larry. And you were correct. This is our 28th annual Wilderness Wildlife Week here in my beautiful hometown of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Proud to say. And we're having a great time with it. We started on Tuesday the 8th, and just moving right along. I tell you, we've had good crowds. You are correct. This is it had previously been a January event. Had for a long time. Well, for 25 years.
25 years.
And the decision was made. Well, we moved. We got this beautiful brand new facility here right off Teaster Lane, the LeConte Center, which is just an awesome building, and it gave us a place to move to grow the event and have plenty of parking, because we were at Music Road Convention Center. Great place. They were wonderful to us. We loved them, but we needed more room.
No, that music. What you had it there. That you didn't list it as one of the hikes, but it was one of the hikes to get there. You know, if you parked,
it was.
If you parked off, but the new LeConte facility is an amazing. And you folks out there, y'all have been to Pigeon Forge. You know, it's not like my old Pigeon Forge. And Butch can tell you this more than anybody else. The changes that have made, but this facility, I did a whole radio show there. The last time it was in the winter, I did my entire show from there.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And it was a wonderful experience. I see you still got Joe Kelly on your schedule. But
sure do.
This event, folks, now, Ron, listen to this. The favorite thing about this event is that four-letter word, F-R-E-E. Or is that 5 letters? I ain't counting them right.
That's true.
Free!
That's true. And, you know, and people find that so hard to believe that everything's free.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ken Jenkins, a nature photographer from Gatlinburg, nearby Gatlinburg, who started it, who had the idea and the concept for doing it, that was one of the prerequisites when he got together with the city to put this on, that everything would always be free. There would be no admittance charge. There would be no charge for the seminars. And we have close to 250 programs.
Wow.
We have about 45 hikes and or day trips of varying length and challenging ability and everything, and even on the hikes and day trips, we transport people there from the LeConte Center up into the mountains or wherever they're going here in Sevier County. We take them around to some of our other places. They get to go to downtown Sevierville and they get their picture tucked in front of Dolly Parton statue.
There
and
you
things
go.
like that, And
yeah.
But we take care of it, and it's all free, and very much so, Larry. It's very much family entertainment and family fun. I always tell people you can bring anybody from 9 months to 90, and you won't hear or see anything that will be offensive to you. It's all good, clean family fun. And there's this, and I also tell folks too, if you'll even get a copy of the schedule and study it, you're going to find something in there you're interested in.
You're going to find it. Yeah.
No doubt.
You're going to find it.
Yeah.
If you can, I don't know what to do. Just give up, I guess.
No. Well,
it's an incredible event, and I've been with it for 18 years, Larry. So I've really seen tremendous growth in it.
And you can see all the awards it's won, folks. I mean,
absolutely.
Golly, I mean, big awards, international festival events awards, Southeast for May 2018, all these different kind of things, and. I know, Butch, your involvement in it, the transition. Can you talk a little bit about that from spring to from the winter to the spring? Has that gone good? I mean, I know there was a lot of indecision at early part, but it sure has opened door for great hikes and better weather. I know that.
Sure has.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We don't have to cancel any hikes for snow anymore.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it really has, Larry. It was, being that long in January. I think our crowds had changed here in Pigeon Forge. We're more of a year-round resort now,
yes.
And with the advent of the LeConte Center, there was a lot of use of it in January, and so that made that time there in January more precious. And so we had just talked about, well, what, we've been talking for years and kicking around the idea, what if we moved this and made this a springtime event, and just kept going with it, and it would add a lot of dimension to it. It would give us a lot of opportunity to do different kinds of programming that we can't do in January. And as I said it jokingly before, but very seriously, the weather would not be as much of a factor, as it had in January.
Yeah.
Our numbers are not quite what they were prior to the change 3 years ago, but our numbers have increased every year. We've seen a changing demographic. We've seen more families and more younger people.
Yeah.
Because as you know, in the times you've been, we have tracks of programming. We have and there's a whole track of youth programming that this is just awesome, is incredible.
Yeah.
This year we got a lot more of them, the hands-on, the instructional stuff like that. And so I think while the move initially was met with some controversy and some trepidation by attendees, I think most have come back, and we've gained a whole lot of new folks that didn't know about us before that have said, hey, I couldn't make it in January, but I can come there in May. I love coming there in May. So I think it's been good. I think it's been a good, steady growth and change, and we're very, very pleased with our response from our attendees and the feedback that we get. It's been great. It's been incredible.
Well, I hope I can get there next year, Butch, and do some stuff over there. So they can go, folks. You can go to mypigeonforge.com, right, Butch?
Yes, sir. mypigeonforge.com.
Have you set the dates for next year? Do we know the date?
I have, Larry, and actually next year the dates are almost identical.
Right.
They will be May the 7th through the 11th in 2019, and we will be back at the LeConte Center again doing our 29th annual one.
I'm marking it down right now.
Mark that down, and hey, we'd love to have you back. I know we enjoyed having you here before, and you've seen it up close and firsthand.
I've seen it up
close. Know all that we offer. It's just it's the outdoors, it's the environment, it's music, it's educational, it's our Appalachian and Smoky Mountain heritage. It just encompasses so many things, and we do all the city sponsored events, so we do other events, but this is my personal favorite. Has been for years. Growing up here in this area, seeing it change from cornfields to condos, and the changes that we've seen here, and we'd like to show this beautiful Smoky Mountain area off and show folks what is so special indeed about it.
Well,
we sure do.
I plan to be there. No Way Jose is still open, right? Okay.
They are still in business.
Okay,
yes,
I want to make sure, because that's where I met Ricky Skaggs one night. I'm sitting there eating.
Oh, wow.
And Tom Bohannon and Tom Atkinson, and Tom said,
Tom
look
Atkinson,
over. Yeah, I looked over, and Tom said, you know who that over there? I said, golly, I didn't know. He looked scruffy and a beard. And I said, that's Ricky Skaggs. And my wife said, don't you say a word to him. I said, oh, I wouldn't do that. I'm told I had to go over and say something to him, anyway. Hey, Butch, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you later, and hope to see you next year for sure, okay?
Thank you, Larry. I appreciate everything, my friend.
Right. Talk to you later. Thanks. All right, Butch Helton. And there's one more big event going on today. John Gordon, I've given him the information before we have to close out this show. It's close to you. It should be close to you.
This is something near and dear to me. Today, May 12th, is World Migratory Bird Day. And this is something that's being celebrated around the world, conservation efforts for migratory birds, and not just ducks and geese, but there's all kind of birds that migrate all over the world.
And today is the day.
Today's the day that's being recognized.
You're filling right in. You're coming along now with information.
I got information. I got intros. Pretty much I'm taking over the show. So this will be Outdoors with John Gordon before you know it. Thank you.
Will be, and I'll probably be after I pass. We know you'll have to take over. Wong will have to be with you again.
I'll bring Ron along. Come on.
Hey, let me tell you about next week real quickly. Frank Barton, the guy Trebo, will be in here as our co-host. Marty Marbury, she'll come waltzing in the room talking about West Tennessee tourism. Rick Leslie, Tracy Williams, and Skip Moore will all be in the show next week to talk about the St. Jude Bass Classic, for which I am honored to be the MC at this year's event on May the 27th.
Awesome.
Can't wait to get down there. David Best will be in her primary tackle. And Brian Wright, we're going to have the West Tennessee Shooting Hunger on June the 7th. We're going to talk about that, raise some money, and for a lot of folks who are hungry that we take advantage and we just forget about sometimes. Greg Ratliff, thank you for being with us. He brought along his observer. Shelby, thank you for being with us. And, of course, it's always good to see Ron Wong and John Gordon. They have become joined at the hip here now. Hip. Oh,
yes,
look at that.
Have.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, you better be ready to travel, John. You better really be able to travel. There's not room on Ron's hip for you. I'm sorry. He's too hip as it is. But this is Larry Ray reminding you to do each and every week that it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.